when Hallie tells Elizabeth that she's Hallie.
Mhm.
And it's a sad, I mean, I start crying at that point too. But then they bring in Martin and he's sobbing like a small animal. Love the opening sequence. I love Nat King Cole. They're meeting each other and drinking wine, and the foreshadowing of the wine bottle that they end up bringing later in the movie, which I had never noticed until this time around.
You do see at the very end that it's 1986, but Nancy Myers has a style that is so timeless that that scene could have taken place in the 50s and looked exactly the same. Even like the little shots that they show of when they're dancing, like the shoes that she's wearing, they look very classic or mid-century. And even the camera that she's holding, it looks like this antique camera. It's not something that's digital or even looks like it's from the 80s. It really does a great job in setting the tone for knowing just how beautiful that this movie is going to end up being.
When they're in the isolation cabin, which is iconic, there's just something I think about the setting, that it's raining. They don't really have anything to do. They're all each other has. They're not leaving this bunk, so they might as well find some common ground. And I think just the idea of sitting and eating Oreos while it's raining and talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, and when they like pull out their parents' photo, just the tiny details of Annie having like the picture of them in a queen box, and then also just the moment of them embracing and being like, oh my God, like I have a sister. Us being in a family of sisters, we understand the bond. Nancy Meyer just does a really good job of those tender moments. When Hallie tells Elizabeth that she is Hallie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sad, I mean, I start crying at that point too. But then they bring in Martin and he's sobbing like a small animal.
I've never been so happy in my entire life.
They're just these really tender, real emotional moments, and they're not too sappy, and she doesn't linger there for too long. She lets you have the sad moment and then like, okay, like let's keep going and let's keep having fun. Looking at her mom's dresser and just, I don't know if you ever did that, but I remember like always going into mom and dad's room and just like looking through mom's jewelry box and like just, you know, touching all the little things that she had out in the dresser. And that scene felt so not only true to a young girl looking at her mom, but just really beautiful and quiet, that like that was the first time that she ever got to do that. Really true to being a girl that age.
I remember this jewelry box that mom had, and it was brown and like shiny, and I used to go in there all the time. I remember exactly where it was on her dresser. But one thing that she did not have was a window seat to have tea time with me.
We both love London and we love tea. And when I saw that scene, I was like, yes, this frame is aspirational for life. Having a window seat in your bedroom and a table where you can have room to have a full tea spread. And Martin will serve the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Actual dreams. Lizzie is getting ready to get on the flight to see Nick Parker, and she just looks like she has had a day. But just that whole interaction of her and Martin helping her pick out like a sexy dress for seeing your ex for the first time.
I'd wear this little baby.
I loved.
When Chessie realizes who she is, like, it's very heartwarming, but then immediately is so funny the way that she says,
I'm gonna make you something special to eat. What would you like? Anything? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna whip up everything we've got, okay?
It gives that actress, lets her play a range, it lets her get emotional, it lets her be funny. There are a lot of moments in this movie where people get to realize what's happening, but in all of them, including when the girls figure out that they're sisters, there's something about Chessie's reaction And maybe it's just the like the way that it's shot and like how beautiful that room looks with like the sun coming into it. That just, I don't know. That's my favorite one of all of them.
I was weeping, but also laughing so much out loud. I was like wiping tears.
When they all meet up in San Francisco, it's a lot of paying homage, which Nancy Myers does so well, to old rom-com movies with people coming in and out of doors and elevators closing. And there's so much people crisscrossing everything that happens while they're at that hotel. And then Nick figuring out everything that's happening when he falls in the pool, and then they are reunited.
I'm stunned to see you, but you don't seem as stunned to see me.
I think just the whole breakdown of that camping trip is so great. All the lines of just completely making fun of someone who can't do nature.
Oh, I would pay big money to see that woman climb a mountain.
And when she does wake up on that mattress, that bird is so perfect. And just her coming out of the water and kicking the can that they were cooking trout with the night before. I really love the fact that she makes very adult movies, and then she also has the capacity to make something like this that's for everyone, and I think really connected with me even from a young age.